Greetings and welcome to Diedrich and Die presents The Grimstone Chronicles. No, not The Grimstone Chronicles. The Titan's Gift, Season 3, Episode 17. I am your DM and host, Marty. I'm going to change Grimstone on the Twitch description to Titan's Gift. How is everyone doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
Good.
Good?
Good.
Not all at once?
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar? Gonna do the how'd you do's? What have you guys been up to?
I just started like an hour ago playing the last chapter of Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Kingmaker?
Yep. I had
Okay.
to... my problem... I shut it off because I was getting bored, because I guess I'd done all the Kingdom events, and it was like I had gone through probably a year with nothing adventure happening. I'm like, this is just boring now. So I shut off the Kingdom, like ran Auto Kingdom,
Yep.
and it brought me right to, okay, time to go after the bad guy. I'm like, excellent, finally.
How did you like that last dungeon with all the frickin' specters in it?
Oh, I'm not done it yet.
Oh, okay.
I went looking. I went.
Oh my god.
I went.
Just
Note to
started.
self, Death War. There was a few rough dungeons, and they usually involve the will save where your characters all run away. I ran into a Dragon Slayer. My character's to 16th level,
Yeah.
and all of my characters needed 20s to hit it. Like, I don't know if I would have beaten this thing had I not had a sorcerer with Snowball, because that first level spell hit every time.
Well, you're like touch AC as opposed to
Touch AC as opposed to
They
and
they really seem to
FR.
like those encounters where you're like, you got to turn off your power attacks and your deadly aims and buff up and then your one fighter might be able to
I think I
hit.
do need to disconnect and reconnect because I can't hear Marty. It got me the video, but it didn't give me the audio.
Okay.
So I can see my bar on exploits, so I'm okay there. Yeah. Wrath of the Righteous. There are some ridiculously hard encounters in that game as well. Demons are bad news, man. Demons are bad news. And that's me cheating and doing the Gestalt and hacking ability scores. Like, I can only imagine the main, like just the vanilla game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm playing the regular one, like just single class.
Well, you're playing on console, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how you'd hack the game files on console. How's everyone else doing?
Woo, pretty good, pretty good. What's going on with me? I went out backpacking for the first time in a while. The wife went out of town for work, so I did a little solo trip up to Wallace Falls on Saturday night. That was fun. It rained the whole time. I got a late start, so I spent most of the first day hiking in the dark, which I've gotten pretty good at finding the trail with with very minimal light at this point. So that was kind of a little bit unnerving, freaked me out a little bit, but kind of fun at the same time.
So practicing your survival, got it.
And I don't have my desktop anymore because it got filled with ceiling insulation. I want
Oh
to...
no!
Oh, fuck. Build another one. It was too cold anyway, so my gaming's pretty limited. I'm getting like I compulsively still play the Magic app because I'm just addicted to it, but it is a joyless experience at this point. So I started playing this like Diablo 1 and Warcraft 2 on the laptop for nostalgia and because they will run on my laptop. Yeah. Maybe not as exciting as Kingmaker. You just kind of click around the dark pixelated dungeon, but yeah, it is what it is, guys. Oh, Wheel of Time came out. That's super exciting. I don't know if you guys been watching that. No spoilers, please.
I think that's
Yeah,
all right. Yeah,
yeah,
I have
I'm
not read the
waiting.
book.
I'm waiting for the season to be done, and then I'll binge watch.
Same.
And then you'll binge it. Yeah, I made the mistake of starting to watch it. They had only put out 3 episodes at a time. I'm like, fuck. I can't stand the old school of like wait a week, watch an episode, wait a week. I'm like,
what's the point of streaming if I gotta wait a week anyway?
Yeah. It did have a like fun scene where you got to see the like wizard caster plus melee dynamic of like it takes time to cast the spell, melee guy protect me. So that was kind of fun to see like that RPG mechanic play out on the screen. That was some sweet spell casting in that first one.
I didn't watch any. I didn't read any of the books, so I don't know whether or not I should like or not like it based on how accurate it is to the source material. You know, like, and I'm not going to go back and I'm not going to go and read 20 books. So for basically what I gather is you chop up Lord of the Rings, you randomize it, and then and then that's the story. It has a really strong Lord of the Rings vibe. I'm like, I've seen this before. Sure. Walking through the wilderness.
Yeah, especially that first book is definitely
okay.
I mean, they've been pretty true to it so far. They definitely changed some things, but like the right beats are there, and it's a Wheel of Time. Baked into the Wheel of Time is that the Wheel of Time turns maybe infinite amounts of time. So every new turn is slightly different than the last turn. So
that's how they're going to get away with deviating from the original source material.
Yeah, you could just say, well, it's a different turn of the wheel, so who cares?
Okay.
So yeah, that was fun. And Cowboy
All right.
Bebop's out too. That was cool.
We shouldn't knock it too much because this is how Luke got into fantasy, and that's how we met Luke. I think
my whole first character, Grak, is just based off of the blacksmith character in Wheel of Time.
Is it? Okay. All right. That kind of makes sense now. Interesting.
It's not. It's a terrible book series. It's shitty. I only dedicated years of my life to it. It's the whole basis of my friendship, Marty. It's just throw it in the trash.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying a lot of it is like we've seen this before. Well, no, it may not be derivative. It may be so old that
good.
Yeah, exactly. Next check-in. Next person.
That's why I want to go and do what Mark is suggesting: is wait until at least the first season's out, so you can blast through it. Anyways.
Hello.
Also did not watch the original animes of Cowboy Bebop, so I don't know whether or not I should, like the aspect of is it true to the source material? Don't know.
I mean,
it's a fun show. I'm getting through that one as well.
This is a lot more humorous. The show's a lot grittier and darker, and they pretty majorly changed one of the characters, like the love interest for the main character is wildly different than in the anime. But I mean, it's good. It's funny. It's a good shiny, fun space buddy cop kind of show.
Matt, what's going on with you guys?
Yeah, I got a couple of shots, and I'm feeling sort of the basic side effects. Just soreness and fatigue. Should be gone in a day or so. The booster and then a flu shot. I was gone for Thanksgiving back home in Indiana. Back home again in Indiana. It was nice. Yeah, absolutely. A little chilly. Not too bad though.
Cool.
I get to see my sister and the nieces and nephews. Well, actually, it's just nephews. Come to think of it. Anyway. It always has been. I don't know why I said it. Anyway, that's about it. Back home. It's nice.
Starting a new game of whatever your doc hack /
Oh, I've got a really good game of NetHack going that I think I might be able to ascend on. But I tend to get to this point, and then you only need to do one stupid thing before it all falls apart. So I'm trying to make sure I don't do any stupid things.
And there's no scum saving in this game?
I mean, I could, but, you know, I could beat it easily then. There's no honor in that.
No honor.
So I'm going to try. I've been playing it for, I don't know, 20 years, 25 years probably, at least 30 if you go back to Rogue. And I've never had a clean Ascension.
Ooh, this is big. Let us know. We'll have to get a little party if you ever do.
I need to just take a day, sit down, and
Matt's Ascension party.
Wear our nice clothes and like take him out to a brunch or something.
Oh, that's funny.
3 minutes in, it'll be like, fuck. It's over.
Man, if I restarted Wrath of the Righteous every time my party died,
yeah.
Sometimes it's who wins initiative.
Yep.
Did you have the right buffs up when you went into that room? Some of them are just vicious. Funny. Max, what's new with you, man?
When was the last time we played? I don't remember what I talked about.
2 weeks?
Since then, my wife and I finished Guardians of the Galaxy, the new video game that came out on PS5 and PC. We played it on PS5. We've been playing a bit of, what is it? Kena the Spirit Bridge? I think that's what it's called. That's another one on PS5. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Kena. Oh, I'm getting some feedback. Sorry about that. Been playing some games. Last week we had another Pathfinder session where we were playing Tyrant's Grasp, and before that I'm DMing Cradle of Night. So that's pretty fun. We got another session on the Saturday. So we've been getting a lot of gaming in before the holidays because most folks go MIA in December. It's been good.
Oh, in the Grimstone game, Adam started DMing again, which is a lot of fun to be on the other side of the table. We got one game into the next chapter in Grimstone. Mark wasn't able to make it, but it was nerve-wracking and fun to watch Ahmed bluff his way past guards after guards after guards, having no character that could help him.
Nice.
It was tense. It was good. All right, why don't we do a recap of what happened last game? Last game was called Return of the Meat Sled. The Jerks Emeritus escape Grand Station to the Pearl of Bosterra. There they reunite with their allies and try to find a safe place to regroup and make their plans. Neolanda suggests consulting with the Scaran people, whose ancestors were kings and rulers of Grand Station long ago, and who may have knowledge of the Midnight Teeth, also known as the Crown of Fangs that Queen Iliosa seems to wear. Pharisee tracks down Tech, Sirak Gagat, their wayward mercenary Thrycreen, and the party attempts to retrieve him. They do so successfully. That evening, while at the Blackbird Ranch, a bloat mage agent of the Sovereign Queen Iliosa is on their trail and interrupts their respite via scrying spells and an offer for a pardon. One of the things that happened was Pharisee was scryed upon, and somehow this wizard, or bloat mage, was able to teleport an imp to your location. The imp is the creature that carried the offer. You captured it, and you're not too sure what to do with the offer or how to get back into contact with the bloat mage. That was the excitement that night. I don't know if there's conversation about what to do or if you guys try to get some sleep. I know some spells were cast and you guys were teleporting around.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need to get spells, but in order to figure out what we need to kind of figure out where we're going.
Yes, well, it does pose a bit of a problem. I think we need maybe a bit more time to deal with this. I say we counteroffer. Double it. And send guaranteed safe passage, perhaps some sort of teleporting carriage to transport us back or something. We shouldn't give in so easily if he wants them so bad.
Just so we're clear here, we're talking about a double cross counteroffer, right?
Oh, did I just hear a paladin suggest a double cross? Oh, well, yes, since you had the idea, yes, I think that's capital. We shall stall, bluff, bide more time, and then, when the moment's right, double-cross them, or find a way to ditch them entirely. Maybe we start out early tomorrow, make our way across the desert, either for the Bastani or maybe to the Valley of the Titans. There may be some refuge there for us.
That seems like an option.
That will give us time to perhaps find some way to counter their scrying or put us in more favorable footing.
Do we have any spells that can help us counter scrying? Says Zephyrus.
Spellcraft?
He's looking at Pharisee and at the professor mostly for this question.
Can I spellcraft to know if I can use a scry spell to counter a scry? That is, if I detect I'm being scryed on.
That's awesome. I think you need to be watching the person cast the spell.
That probably makes sense. There are spells that would help, but I don't think that we have any of them.
No.
We're strong enough to make ourselves less detectable. We're strong enough to create our own private sanctums if we could figure out the formula.
If we at least have direct detect scrying available, whenever we sense we're about to be scryed upon, we can attempt to make it at least less interesting for him.
Yes, yes.
Until we can secure means of outright countering it. Will a
We have enough to keep it
dispel?
up, too.
Would a dispel counter a scry as it's in progress?
So, you know the basics of counterspelling as a spellcaster, and with your high spellcraft, you need to designate the target, and at the same time they're casting, you need to counterspell. The problem with a scry spell is unless you were standing right beside them or within sight, you wouldn't be able to do it. Scry spells also have a really long casting time, so in order to get...
I think what he's saying is, once they are scrying, can he dispel the scry?
Well, it is
Yeah.
it is an active spell, but the scry, if it was active, means it was successful.
Yeah. We can and did, in fact, destroy the scrying sensor with a dispel.
We can be
But it was after
vigilant.
they'd had a look.
Yes, well, we might not be able to block a look aside from mental fortitude to begin with.
What about that spell that blocks scrying altogether? Says Zephyrus.
Yes. What about that spell?
We should want to get a hold of that.
Do any of us have it?
I don't believe so. Does anyone know the proper term for that spell?
Oh, it's something like don't be detected or anti-detection or something like that.
Yes, well, I will look in my Sorcerer's Wizard's Almanac for something like don't be detected or, yes, not seeing it.
Non-detection or Mage's Private Sanctum.
That's the one, says Zephyrus. It is within our grasp to learn. It is too bad that none of us have learned it.
Isn't it?
Oh, I don't suppose we could find enough Fae to barter with that they could put the word out that we're looking for such a scroll.
There are the hags in Valley of the Titans or in that little area around the Gnomon. They might know it.
Don't you have contacts here in the wastes
could call a caravan of
I could.
merchants.
Yes, I could see what we've got. That might be worth it. And we have scrip. We have plenty of money. Although I don't know if they'd take it. They might. They probably would. Yes.
Or perhaps we could do them a favor. They may not have it on their person, but they, I'm sure, have contacts among other trading, say, merchants who could procure it over time, and we could make it worth their effort.
I'm certainly willing to ask. What about our friends? Do any of them know of have protection from it? What about this Vencarlo? How does he avoid being found out in this way?
Yes, he is a strapping young lad.
He's very careful, I assume.
Maybe we should send an intermediary. Arthur Soon, are you about? Could you maybe go ask a question of Vencarlo for us? Or Bukovic, you're a rather neutral character amongst us. I feel some of the rest of us maybe have rubbed...
I will go and... Should I inform them of what has transpired? They might want to know that they're in danger.
Yes,
it'd be a lot tougher to sell them, wouldn't it?
Yes, it does make it difficult.
Are you sure we don't want to keep that option? I think we probably do not. I don't think we can trust them to make a deal anyway, our adversaries.
If this wizard is scryed upon someone here, then their ability, and he points at the bag where the, the passed out imp is inside of, that Thurgus once in a while keeps on thumping to keep passed out.
I think this place is dangerous.
Yes, it is compromised. Do we know anyone in Bosterra? My contacts here aren't as they used to be. Zephyros says we know the Fant at the Valley of the Titan.
Yes, I would vote we make for there. Perhaps we can gain some knowledge from him. He may even know the spell, or may have his own private sanctum we can use for a time while we regain our footing.
He's a powerful oracle.
Unless you're Fey contacts. Still, it concerns me they were asking about Esri.
Yes. Perhaps they're looking for her. Certainly they're looking for her. Perhaps they've found her. It might be good to go there and make sure.
I've got an idea. Why don't we just send a response that says, okay, sounds good, or tell us where to drop them off, and then we show up like 10 minutes late and kill everyone that's there.
I mean, I think that's a likely outcome, for sure. But if they've had time to prepare,
that's why we wait.
Into an ambush,
we waited a couple of minutes, so any of that like short duration magic effect stuff wears off, and we show up fashionably late, and then we just murder everyone.
Yes, I would vote we add a little extra spice on there and barter a bit. We want them to show up with as much possible coin for us to procure from their deceased bodies once we're done. I'd rather procure 100,000 versus 50,000 dollars, if possible.
I think their deaths are imperative at this point, too. Our poor host here has already suffered a good bit of disruption, and it'd be, I suppose, a little bit sad if he were murdered in his sleep because of us, too. We might be haunted.
Yes.
Oh, holy shit. Listen to you. Good for you. Feeling bad about the things you brought on others.
I think you missed the last part of that, which was like, don't want to get haunted.
No, you're right. It's the pangs of conscience. Right. I'll work on it.
Guilt's guilt. I'll take it. Thank you.
It's you, Thurgus. You should continue. It's you that has the detection up, correct?
Yep.
You should
24 hours a day, every day. 5 or 7 or however many days a week there are on these pearls.
It depends which calendar.
Only 24 hours? I believe the day is 25 hours on this pearl, is it not?
26. It's a 13-hour clock.
How does that affect 24-hour spells?
Just whatever.
Are they 26-hour spells?
I think whatever is the way we should deal with that.
Whatever.
I also have this spell now, so I can keep one up too.
Yeah, 24-hour spells will be 26 hours. So they're just the full day.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you sense anything, let us know. Perhaps we can put up some obfuscation in a pinch to prevent them from seeing more than they need to. In the meantime, Thurgis's plan is not a bad one. I still say we should try and stall a little, buy ourselves some time, get some distance between maybe here and wherever the eventual rendezvous will be.
We'll have to let them find us again at some point. I think if we continue to lead them on, they'll get wise to it at some point and decide to come for us, and then we'll at least control the battlefield.
What of our companions? They clearly cannot stay here.
Yes, we'll need to take them someplace safer.
We should
there are
life
some
bubble
cities.
them and give them to Mokranum for keeping.
Oh, I like this plan.
That is not a good plan.
Oh.
So I think we could put them to sleep first.
If we tried really hard and maybe popped out one of your shoulders, you'd fit.
Shut up, you scrotal whore.
Oh, he's not very nice for a paladin. I thought
he's
they
a-
were supposed to be nice.
Nope, you
Oh.
heard wrong.
That wasn't an insult, my friend. That was a suggestion as to what type of sack you should try and disguise yourself as next.
Oh.
Why don't you just sit right next to him and do your best to be a scrotal horror?
No, I think I would turn into maybe when I get bigger, I'll turn into a casket and then you could lay down inside me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That
yes,
sounds
well,
interesting.
indeed. Yes, well, we can either make our battle here, and this
Or-
Jasan fellow can
or-
defend his home.
Or I could turn into a sheath. Ha 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 ha. He scrambles away from Darian. up onto.
Reputation of good farmers. Shame on you.
You know why I chose sheath? Because he turns into a sword.
Oh, yes. He might break out of it, though. That could be painful.
Yeah, don't worry. My stomachs are bigger than I appear. Yes. Well,
Yes. Thank you for that suggestion, Mokranum.
shall I inform our allies and our guests, or sorry, our host that we'll be leaving in the morning?
I think you must, yes.
Yes, probably tell them that they're being hunted by a great powerful mage of the city.
They should probably come along.
All right.
Yes.
Cap in hand, Bukerbeck approaches the other group, which by this point in time has figured out something was going on. You were scryed upon, spells are cast, you teleported away, now there's this bug guy in the, like, and now you're all up and talking. So they're up. God damn it! You can hear Jason responding to the news of him having to leave his home.
No, that's valid.
Sounds about right, yes.
Why I didn't want to tell them in person.
Yep, there's some slamming of doors, and eventually Ludo comes slinking over. Yep, that went as well as expected.
Yes, well,
Where are we
At least
going?
we were prepared.
Where are we going?
oh, there's still some debate about that.
Okay.
Well, I vote against the Fae. They're notoriously untrustworthy people.
So true.
Thurgus,
No offense.
you got distracted by the conversation a little bit, and the imp is now, like, moaning in the bag. It's like,
Oh, go to sleep! And I pick up the bag and I smash it on the table.
okay.
Is it possible to put this as a prototype?
Well, we could make our way to the Valley of the Titans.
I think that's a decent plan for us. Is there enough food there for our friends? I suppose there's oracles and they can just make food.
Yes.
I can make food too, so.
True. Will they welcome us? I suppose if they don't welcome us, we can just kill them.
Or
But we would never do that, Zephyros, because that would be bad, and they're our good friends.
There's some settlement of these Vistani somewhere, is there not? Another option? Perhaps a more neutral party? Might have to win them over first, but I'm sure our winning personalities can accomplish that.
Yes, the Callow Mounds is where the tribe of Bones lives. We're a couple of days away from Bosterra, and they're probably about 8 days' walk into the desert from Bosterra. It's on the edge of the Cinderlands.
We do know them. They are probably not friends of the bureaucracy of Grand Station.
You did help avert conflict between them.
Do you
yes.
think that they would be able to help us with our sanctum issue? Is that on the way? Is the ossuary vault on the way?
No, it's in the opposite direction. The Titans Valley is days in that way.
Right. Well, fair enough.
Probably more likely to find a scroll of a sanctum in a civilized location. Or a settlement of some kind, though it may take some time. We may have to infer with some merchants until the proper scroll can be procured.
Sure.
Now we could also scatter, split up. So what if one of us gets scryed upon, says Ludo. They won't get...
Yes, then it would be easy for them to pick us off one by one, murder us while we sleep when we're suspecting it.
But I might get away. No, probably not, because they've scryed on me before, so they know about me. I vote against this plan.
All right, travel all together. I guess safety in numbers. We're gonna be spotted from miles
I
away.
would like to be so that any enemy that might hit me with a weapon would be hittable by Thurgus with a weapon.
Thurgus, this
Yes.
And
See, now you're talking.
This imp must have fast healing because it's starting to wiggle again.
Oh, go to sleep.
Please.
It seemed to want to talk, but Thurgus.
Well, what do you think? We'll ask for double and tell them that they can send the imp the next time they can see us with an answer.
Double, and we get to pick the place for the bag, the handoff of the goods. We choose the location for the exchange.
Sure.
And
That
then give it to
seems
the
reasonable me.
imp, and then we'll hit the road. He can find and contact us wherever we are. We'll make our way towards this settlement, attempt to procure some additional spells here. Thurgus, once they get back in contact, we can tell them where to meet and then show up 10 minutes later, as you said, the perfect plan. Any objections, counter ideas?
I think
I'm
we
all
should.
right with that.
I think we should go to the Valley of the Titan.
Yes, an interesting one. I would not
You
mind.
do realize if we go there, we're just going to be bringing this Togamore there too.
It is a deserted, desolate location, full of old ruins.
Unless they have a private sanctum that we can hide out in, and we can get to it before we're scryed upon, which they might.
Yes, and there is a powerful ally there who maybe begrudgingly could be pressed into helping us.
Well, once we show up, they're going to kind of have to.
Yes, exactly.
That's not what I was getting at.
The albino is a powerful caster.
And we need to drop these folks off someplace.
Ah, yes, we can pawn them off on him.
And Esri is there, so it wouldn't be bad to know where she is.
I'd rather be dropped off in a village. There's stuff to do in a village as opposed to some ossuary places. I mean, there's bones there.
Yeah.
So
Valuable bones.
So you're bringing us to a graveyard.
Yes, that's the word. Yes, a graveyard. Yes, that.
Ludo just slumps his shoulders.
It's got the Earthacker there. There's some hags.
I mean, if it's going to take us some time to get there, couldn't we just teleport you off to, like, fuck off village or something, and then leave you there?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can
magic.
Teleport there and drop some people off, and then teleport in the opposite direction out to Thousand Bones.
Yeah, we're not in the business of dragging people along that don't want protection. If you want to go disappear in a city or some shit, go for it.
Fair.
It's valid.
Wait, how much is Ludo worth?
He was only $5,000.
All right.
We need Ludo for other reasons, and you notice that this door that Zephyros carries that's in a frame, he's just leaning on it a little bit, and he's not very subtly tapping it with one of his fingers and looking directly at Pharisee.
I look back at Ludo. Just kidding. Plans changed. You're a prisoner now.
No. We're going to go to interesting places, and we're going to leave the rest of the folks at boring places. You want to come with us.
But also, you have to come with us.
I think traveling is actually quite safe. All of Bosterra looks like a giant dust bowl, doesn't it?
Yeah,
True.
It's only
very difficult to.
It's only when we stop that we're giving away our location.
So how long is it to this place?
A few days.
So several opportunities.
Unless we travel quickly. Didn't he Neil mention something about phantom steeds or something?
I think there might have been phantom steeds. Maybe that was the other campaign that we were phantom steeding it all up.
I don't think we've ever phantom steeded in this one. It's just
this is a carriage campaign, Marty.
The carriage.
Yeah, exactly.
Carriage campaign. I like that term.
Carriage campaign.
That said, if we're inside the carriage, that's an exceptionally boring teleportation target.
I do intend to be in there for the entire ride.
But I don't think it would fit everyone. We still need to drop these less fortunate folks off someplace.
Yes, well, we can summon multiple carriages. Don't worry about that.
Fair point. Fair point. Well, should we take them to Thousand Bones then? Or I wouldn't mind stopping by the Ossuary Vault first and seeing if we can get a private sanctum. If we can, that would make our nights safer.
There we go.
And it could be an excellent place for the handoff if we are ready to double-cross them, as the Paladin suggested.
It'd be a place to stash them, and then we would be traveling in the opposite direction, which would lead them astray, potentially.
How many teleports do you have left? Right now.
Right now...
Another way is for us to avoid going that 3 days there and 3 days back. Just teleport there, see if they have a spell for us.
Yes. I have 2 left tonight.
I've got 1, it looks like. We could take a small party there now.
Yes.
And I have 3 left.
Excellent.
Nice.
How is that possible?
So, between the 2 of us, we'll be able to take 3 each. 1, 2, 3. And then Ludo, attack. We don't have to take everyone if we're coming back here and then setting off, though, either.
Yes. Unless we're depositing people there, maybe one group should go first, and then we could finish teleporting everyone in the morning.
I thought we were using him as bait.
No, the paladin is bait.
We have to keep our
But
bait
they don't
safe,
even want
though.
the paladin that much. He's like $5,000.
We'll do a lot more damage to them. His bounty will go up over time. We need to keep him safe so that he becomes more valuable.
The most
An
wanted,
appreciating asset.
the most wanted paladin in the land.
Right.
That's not funny. I'd like
A worthy title. And yes, it is. A little bit. To me.
All right, if you say so, I still feel like... And then I slam the imp on the table again.
Yeah.
Fighting this dude is like, if we prioritize it, it's probably in our best interest to just like fuck off and go fight him. Like, why are we running around and stuff and going to places and graveyards and talking to people and whatever? Like, it seems so cowardly, trying to like hide in private sanctuary places or whatever. Like,
I don't
let's
think
just
we
go
know.
fuck off and fight him.
I don't think we know where he is.
That's why
Maybe
we tell
the
him
imp
where
would-
we are.
Maybe the imp would tell us where we're supposed to go.
Alright, I open up the bag.
Okay, yeah, there's this bloody mess. You can see,
I, like,
its
hold him by the
bones
tail.
starting to knit. It's got fast healing too, so you've been hitting the imp a lot. Eventually, it wakes up. Its wings are all bent, and it's still like kind of a bloody mess. It looks at you and shivers.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
talk
hold
then.
it because I want it to have the grappled condition just
Sure.
to prevent
We
it from
want
like
Darian.
teleporting or
Oh,
whatever.
we do want them to know
Yeah.
that we have Darian.
And very specific. What other kind of information you got in there?
I am diplomacy imp.
It says.
Right, so diplomacy, improve my, disposition.
I am a messenger imp. I bring word or scroll or something small or something that I can remember back to Fat Mage.
And where is that?
I'm not sure. I think it's I've got
And he kind of points at his belly.
teleportation rune.
Oh, that was very useful, thank you. And I slam him on the table again. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. And then once he's asleep, Professor, we've got a teleportation rune that tells us where we need to go. Let's just go there.
Does it?
I don't know, but that's what he uses. Why don't you spellcraft him or something? Here's his belly button. And I shove it in the professor's face.
Yeah, I'll examine it.
Okay, so you need detect magic and then almost a read magic to see the rune on it. You give me a spellcraft check. This is almost like a tattoo magic item that you are
Hold on, let me check something. Let me see
Identifying.
if I still have it ready.
Yeah, identification would also help, and I guess
Yeah.
aids will help. I think there's a few people more than a few people in this group that are interested. Zephyros is leaning in to give his wise counsel.
What is that one where you shoot? What is that one called?
Identify?
Not that one. I've got that one. Arcane Sight? I think I have
Legend
that.
lore?
Oh, that's a
Analyze
decent
Dwimmer?
one. Analyze Dreamer is good. I think I've already cast it today. I don't remember one on, but I think I already have.
Identify spell also just gives you a plus 10, so
Which is pretty
Arcane-
solid.
I've got Arcane Sight. Does that help me?
Arcane Sight allows you to get to the matter quicker. Like you don't have to spend rounds concentrating like you do with detect magic.
Okay.
I
I will do
I-
Arcane
I will
Sight,
look-
and I will pull out the monocle and do an Identify. And then I will do spellcrafts with anybody aiding who wants to aid.
Okay, Zephyros auto aids.
I do as well.
Darian auto aids as well.
Darian knows about magic. That's awesome.
So you got 3.
Not his primary
Identify-
ability, but he's cut the ranks.
Identify adds 10, right?
Identify as 10.
Thurgus does not aid.
Thurgus is too busy keeping the imp unconscious while splayed out on a table so that everyone can read it. So he's kind of like biffing it in the head.
Now that I've laid him down, I've got the Eclipse Bringer out again, and I'm just kind of like sliding it in as the wounds seal up, and then sliding it in again. Just trying to make sure it's just enough.
The stuff sociopathic serial killers are made at. Oh, the blood. All right, so I got 3 aids, my spellcraft plus an identify, 42.
This is a magical tattoo that when you say the command word, teleports the creature who the tattoo is on to a specific location. The location is on this pearl.
That's good information. We could transfer that tattoo.
It's caster level 9. So a caster level 9 teleport suggests that it's within 900 miles, although maybe the pearl might be bigger than that. So
Ooh, it doesn't quite narrow it down. 900
there
miles.
there are arcane like marks that specify the particular location. But you don't know how that corresponds to the geography of the pearl. No, it is normal teleport.
Could I write the arcane marks down and then individually start researching them to start to figure out where they might point to?
Do you have knowledge geography?
I should. Yeah, I've got 5 points in knowledge geography.
Okay, so it'll be a similar difficulty knowledge geography to try to figure out where the location is.
But we could use, like Fair says, well, we could use that pamphlet you have, or we could use some page-bound epiphany spells and probably make short work of this research. We're scholars, damn it!
I can also call on my.
There's also
bardic
something
knowledge.
very specific about this symbol that you think that there's another item that it makes reference to in relation to the location of the teleport, the terminal location of the teleport. There's something about the symbol that is anchoring it to something else.
I can get to 30s pretty easily. I can, if I really focus my bardic training, I could figure it.
Let's try and see if we can glean it. I think Thurgus has a good point. Maybe we should try and deal with this expediently if possible.
It would be good to have as much information as we can possibly have.
The tattoo takes up the body slot of the creature.
Should we try to cut it off of this fellow to make it easier to study? It is difficult, Thurgus, you having to keep smashing him about.
The other thing is, if he doesn't come back soon, they got him here. They could probably get here too.
Yeah,
We don't know if cutting it off would cause the magic to go away, though, do we?
Well, we did transfer a tattoo from Spider onto Tech a while back. So it's probably possible, but there might be a chance that it would break it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you could put that teleportation tattoo on one of us?
Yeah.
Not it, says Ludo.
So
Probably
you
so that you
dibs,
can teleport. So that-
Dibs.
You'd
could
be all
put that
alone.
on an angry Thurgus
Dibs.
with all his spells up.
would
Dibs.
be all alone.
I call dibs, and then you guys can scry on me, and then you can teleport in after I'm gone. Sounds like a great plan.
You know what? You wouldn't be all alone if a certain paladin turned into a sword.
I could do that.
The pair of you would be tempting.
Yes.
And
Yes,
we
the
could-
paladin needs to come with me to murder people that may or may not be innocent. This is a great plan.
First of all, I am
Hey,
pretty
yeah.
sure they are not
You-
innocent.
so you
And
can
it is not murder when I do it. It is holy vengeance.
so you can scry on them, and figure out where the we get the drop on them.
This sounds like a great plan. Give me that.
I mean, you guys get the drop on. This is all
To be
wizard
clear,
stuff. I'm not a wizard.
The other thing we could do is take some bits from this imp and scry on the imp, although it might disappear after it gets back. It probably won't stay there,
You know how much blood I have in this sack.
and is probably in a private sanctum.
My queen, I am ready to spill blood for you.
Ah, delightful tech. You have no idea how much you've been missed. I'm delighted to see you again.
There is the chance, though, that
So much delicious meat. So much horrifyingly corrupt meat as well that we'll never want to touch.
Yes, we must eradicate the rotten meat.
I'm gonna need some context.
Oh, yes, tech eats meat.
He's a Thrycreen. They are, how do you say, waste not, want not.
Give me a knowledge history. Do you have it?
I don't know if
Okay.
I have that. He's a paladin. They're not big on the asking questions.
Or that's just how you built your paladin.
That's how. Hey, they're big on
He's
asking
got
questions.
the
They would've come
horse.
with more skill
He's
points.
got the horse blinders on. Point me towards evil.
Pretty much, yeah. He's got knowledge, planes, and religion. That's it.
Give me a religion, maybe.
Okay.
To be clear, the two of you would need to survive for an hour. And the location would need to not be in a private sanctum.
That sounds totally do. Wait, if it's a teleport tattoo, then how is that going to go into a private sanctum?
There was, perhaps in the last generation, you vaguely recall there was kind of like a crusade against Thrycreen. Their numbers grew too big, and there was a great culling of their numbers. And it bordered on, like, a great hunt that bordered on a religious crusade against the Thrycreen. Their numbers are very small, but maybe have started to recover. Their logic is just on a different sort of wavelength, and 32. You've seen some reports just before all this tumultuous, king death and plague and all that, like just beforehand, as a major in the Patreon Guard, that there were some people spotted. There were some deaths, and the assassins may have been Thrycreen or people wearing Thrycreen shell armor.
Okay, just a note to self to keep an eye on this thing then.
From a knowledge religion context, there is a Setite abomination deity that kind of spawned in response to some of the inherited races and their deities, that is depicted as a giant praying mantis.
Okay. Is it an evil god?
Yeah, it's an evil god. It's an evil god of death. The red mantis.
Keep an eye on him then, because that's not a good dude.
Yeah. Tech wears a different symbol around his neck. He's not wearing like the mandibles or the claws of a mantis-like creature. He's actually wearing.
Well, okay, in that case, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's not just assume he's a cannibal.
Yeah, he's wearing the iron shield and axe of the Iron God.
Okay.
And dragging a sled full of meat.
And
He's not a
it's
cannibal.
lovingly referred to as murder bug.
He would never eat another Thrycreen.
Yeah, it's a coin toss with this group.
I've got a wizard question. What about that telepathic bond thing? Couldn't you like put us on that and then send us, and then we could like tell you where we're going or what we see, and maybe you could teleport to us that way?
I like the scry thing. If you know we're about to scry on you, you can choose not to resist.
Right, but that takes like a long time.
But it takes a long time, but
We can
it
time
scries on you when it finishes.
Yes, we
Do
can
not worry
prepare
about wizards.
beforehand.
We are masters of time.
If you teleport moments before it finishes, then we would be scrying upon you.
Yeah, alright, that works for me.
can
Ludo
also-
hits the bag before you hit it, kind of like it was starting to move again. He gives
One of us. Good job, Ludo.
he gives
Good job, buddy.
he gives Thurgus a smile. The longer he's around you guys, the more he'll probably recover his Ludo-ness.
Do you want to try and stab him through the bag? This dagger literally ignores non-physical flesh. It goes through the bag, see?
It's a little big in my hands. It's a
Yeah,
it's a
that's
normal
right.
sized dagger, right?
It's a size large, I think, actually. Let me double check. I mean, it just shrank because oh no, I'm just size medium right now. Eclipse Bringer. I think it's a size large. Might be size normal. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll need
Yeah,
one of those.
it's a size large.
We'll need one of those resizing rings.
Just knock it off. It's an imp, but
Yeah, but it's evil. Isn't it supposed to be like righteous?
it's just a bad habit, okay?
Ludo takes out a ring out of his pocket, puts it on on the pommel of the blade. It fuses to it, and the blade shrinks down to his size. Yeah, there, much better.
You know, I want that back.
He's slowly putting it away on his belt. What back?
How did we transfer that tattoo last time?
Right.
Oh, I think we went to the Flesh Grafters District, paid someone to do it.
He puts it back on the table and takes the ring off, and it goes back to its normal size. He flicks the ring and puts that back into his pocket.
It's another spell we should get ourselves.
Didn't we learn that spell? Says Zephyrus. I think the spell's called Transfer Tattoo.
Yeah, and it's not a very high level spell either. It's pretty attainable usually.
But we're bad at our jobs. We're not bad. We're not bad. We're decent. We're all right. But we don't have that spell or the other one that would be useful.
It's not a spell most people think to take, so
It's a fair point. Yeah.
Very
situational.
Very situational indeed.
Oh, did you hire someone to cast it as opposed to?
Yeah.
I believe we did, yes.
So I think we're going to need to figure out where this thing goes. And
Oh, wait. We might not be able to buy from your fairies this fifth circle mage's spell,
but we could get that.
but a small spell like transferring a tattoo.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's-
shall we-
That was more Bookerbeck. I was doing half Bookerbeck, half Zephyrus. Shouldn't we be able to get your fairy friends help us out with a first circle
I
spell?
think so. Let's have a
Come
little fairy meeting.
Commerce!
Wait,
Excellent.
I've got one question. Before we bring all these fairies in, can't we just ask Zephyrus to use his crystal thingy and take a first circle spell out of the well of, all that crap he keeps talking about?
If there's one available, let me see. It's a non-standard spell, but there are tattoo artists. It is a city. I'm gonna say there's a 70% chance that there's that spell in the Spellcrux. So given that it was your idea, Max, go ahead and give the percentile 70 or under. The spell is available.
Guys, I'm the king of rolling low. Come on now.
Eureka. It is here, says Zephyrus.
Yes, shall we then?
I must learn the spell first, but it should not take more than 2 hours.
Shall we rest and prepare for the assault tomorrow? Recover some spells?
Yes, I will do this task and then we shall rest.
Should we also tonight stash some of our friends someplace a bit safer?
Aren't they fighting men? Should we be ready to teleport them in with us? I guess this is give them the chance to defend their lives. No one fights harder than a man who's hard-pressed to save his own life.
You can always just go to the Bosterra Town.
The place with the gate
That's true.
in the train that leads to Grand Station.
Oh, right. That's actually perhaps the most likely place that they're at. Hard to know. All right, so let's see here. We've got
Okay, Zephyrus
learning a spell.
Zephyrus is going to learn Transfer Magic Tattoo, which I think is a wizard spell, right?
Sorcerer Wizard 1.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And also which one? So
And also Bard 1.
It's just called Transfer Tattoo, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So we're gonna do that.
he will go off to the side and start doing that. Makarnam follows him.
we're going to scry on you tomorrow.
Can we
Right.
afford to do this tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like, what happens when his imp doesn't come back?
That is a thing that we have.
It's a good question.
Especially if this imp is a familiar.
I have a scry ready now. We can do it this evening if we need to.
I also do. That said, I don't know that we've got necessarily an enormous amount of power.
Yeah, I'm not too depleted from the last fight.
Actually, good
How's
point.
everyone else feeling?
I feel great. I smashed in some bugs. That was it.
I've got enough left for an evil mage.
Same.
I'm going to hit Control Z a bunch until we're back to the spell loadout from yesterday.
Is there a place where you guys keep track of your magic ink?
Yeah. It is
Yeah, there's a
in
ledger.
Year in Treasure. There is a wizard slush fund under the tracking.
Can you subtract 10 gold pieces? I think it's 10
Yes.
for a first level spell.
Whoa, this has gotten really low lately. But didn't we just buy a bunch of magic ink?
I think you have plans to buy ink.
Okay.
Oh, Wizard Slush
was-
Fund. Yeah, there we go.
I'm working on it. I got it.
I don't understand the sheet just by glancing at it.
It's like a balance sheet. I got it. Don't worry about it. 10.
Okay, cast that.
Yep. All right, he automatically learns the spell, so it's just basically time, and then somebody has to then prepare it. Crap.
Couldn't you just make another scroll for it right now?
Making a scroll will take additional time, but once it's copied into a spell book, it's such a low-level spell that you could actually learn and prepare the spell from his book.
Yeah, and we can make more scrolls later.
Yep.
I just mean, like, what is the fastest way for us to get a usable version of it?
Can we do it without a night's rest? I think is the question.
Yeah,
He needs to
exactly.
prepare his spells.
But like
Arcane
instead of-
Bond might be able to allow him to do this. Give me a second.
Ooh, look at that.
I think he used it earlier today for something.
I remember Neil saying something about Arcane Bond, so that might have already been used.
Did he on the bug fight?
like a very specific. I can't remember what fight it was. I thought it was a bug, but I can't remember what it was.
I think we've like only done the bug fight today, haven't we?
Yeah.
You rested
was, like,
overnight and then
something-
did the bug fight. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, there's like nothing. Like we teleported there, we
Fairly fresh.
utterly destroyed them, and teleported back.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick glance at his Arcane Bond just to see if it was ticked off or not. On his character sheet, it doesn't look like it's ticked off. Used today, no. Okay, so he could Arcane Bond a spell from his spellbook, which is the condition after he learns and writes it into his spellbook before he rests. So
Hell yeah.
if you guys wait for a couple of hours, Zephyros comes back out and says, I have the spell prepared. Only
that's
one,
right.
however. Only
I think
one.
we only need the one.
I think this is a plan.
Fergus, I believe you volunteered.
Yes. No, I didn't just volunteer. I called dibs.
Yes, well, proceed, Zephyros.
It was a demand.
Do you need any assistance? Is there any chance of failure here?
If the creature resists, there is.
Oh, don't worry about that. I smashed him on the table.
Should we just kill it?
No, don't kill it. They'll hear his master will sense the bond being separated between his familiar.
So we kill it after we transfer the tattoo.
Yeah, just before we leave.
Or maybe keep it alive until after we have the fight. Yeah, I guess that's right.
All
Do
right.
imps breathe? Can we just bury it in a pot in the yard until we're ready? It's some infernal creature. Does it have a respiratory system?
Okay, I'm gonna say while the imp is unconscious, he doesn't have a choice, and Zephyros is able
Yeah,
to.
we'll save it at least, yeah.
Zephyros is able to take a tattooing needle or a needle that he has in his spell component pouch, and then kind of move the tattoo onto Thurgis's chest. You can feel the thing sort of burning into your skin. There's a bit of smell of burning fur and sulfur as the tattoo moves over. Zephyros then scratches down with the same needle using the imp's blood, the phonetic spelling of the command word that will activate the teleport.
And this is the chest or the body slot?
It's kind of in your body slot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thurgus, how do you
Do
feel?
you have a tattoo in your body slot already, or?
No, I'm just
Okay.
wearing a cold leather outfit, so
Okay.
nothing magical.
Thurgus, do you have any inkling as to where the tattoo might want to take you when it's activated, now that you're the bearer?
The way that tattoos work in our universe is that, you've got the column for tattoo, right? So each of the magic item body slots minus some actually could be filled with magical tattoos,
You can
Let
still
me
wear
have a.
and you
let me
can
have a
and you can
long
still
look
wear
at it.
magic on top. So it's almost like a way of getting.
double magic.
They're expensive. They're about double the
Mhm.
cost.
I feel like it wants to take me to glory.
Well, yes, okay, noted.
Other than that, and he looks down at his stomach, I kind of feel hungry. That's all I'm getting. I don't feel like any sort of particular pull anywhere, do I?
Nope. It just stunk a little bit as it was being burned into your flesh.
Got nothing, sorry.
Let me examine it closely. I'll take the Almanac of Passion Lin, read it for 10 minutes to get a +4 bonus to a geography check,
Okay.
and then lore master this.
Can I aid?
Yes.
I will.
That would give me a 43.
A plus 43? Oh no, 43 total because you're
a
using your.
straight 43 total
Okay.
because the lore masters that take 20.
It's almost like you're sort of discovering or using like a coordinate system for this pearl. And the
it is a formula that the Almanac of Pesh and Lin kind of reveals as you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
These pearls might be old enough that the creator of the pearls may have like mapped out their creations.
I wonder who that would be. Perhaps this almanac is especially useful.
So in combination, you guys have rolled 2 40s to look at the location and then to look at the coordinates. What with this epiphany, or the epiphany that you have is there is a coordinate system for this pearl, which may also be a similar formula for other pearls, which is also interesting. The tattoo is leading you to a specific coordinate. There is something strange about these coordinates in that they are the current values inside of boxes that might hold other values if some other condition is met. You suspect that this is pointing to a thing that may move.
Oh.
Perhaps a train?
Oh, yes, yes. Some magic is relative to very large bodies, very large things.
Ah.
Perhaps a flying castle or a moving hut.
Wait, does that mean because this guy showed up more than 2 hours ago, we've already missed the boat?
I think we'll go to wherever
The coordinates have not changed since the time you captured the imp, looked at them, and placed them on Thurgus. It's just you think that these kind of boxed out numbers that are part of the pattern of the magic in the rune could change, even though it's sending you to the same place.
Okay.
And then it has to do with whatever it's anchored to. Like there is some other piece of the puzzle that you're not seeing.
Do we know, are there any other things near that current coordinate value?
Oh, the current coordinate value is the vicinity of Bosterra Town.
Okay. That makes
it seems to not be in Bosterra Town. It's like an hour down the road, kind of.
Sure. All right.
Well, Bukobec, perhaps you will go and speak with our gracious hosts and ask them if they are interested in suiting up and fighting for their right to exist. We are about to go and assassinate the wizard who wants the heads. See if they're interested in that sort of thing.
Or if they would prefer to decamp to another and potentially safer location.
I think the latter.
It seems like
We also haven't returned you-know-who's equipment to you-know-who.
Yes, well, you would think that might be
point.
some incentive for him to help murder these wizards for us.
Do you think that he would... Maybe you should ask him if he would like the parts of it that we're not using.
Teleportation only brings so many people.
I believe the three of us can all do a teleport, and Thurgus and our paladin friend Darian here will be teleporting themselves.
So first wave is these two.
Yes. And then...
Who's doing the scry? Pharisee?
Pharisee has a teleport. Zephyros
I have a pair.
Okay.
has one as well, I believe. I have one.
Zephyros has 3. You have 1.
But if you're going to teleport into... I guess you could all just wave in.
Yes, I say we all go in one wave. We should try and take as many of these people as possible and hit them with force as fast as possible.
Yeah, the smallest groups possible, I think, is the right answer. Now, when we show up there, they know about here. So it's possible that they might come here, and that wouldn't be good because we're there.
Which gives Jason, Vencarlo, Neolandris incentive to come.
They should get
lend
on
a
their
hand.
way. Yeah.
Or to leave, yes.
Yes. I will see what they want to do. Bukerbeck talks
Or
to them.
Get some distance at least.
Yep.
How many people can a teleport take? It's
one per three
level.
casters, medium and small creatures.
4 next level.
Were we able to identify what the caster level of the tattoo was?
It's
9.
It's 9, but the nature of the magic is it only teleports the person who's wearing the tattoo. Bukerbeck comes back and says they're going to arm up, camp out within sight of Blackbird Ranch, and wait for your return or for word.
Sounds good.
They being Arlasoon, Ludo, they
hope to be back shortly.
They can take Pixel if you want, Neolandis, Salvatore, Vencarlo, and Jason, who's refusing to look at you guys. He's red in the face and stomping around his home.
You should get him something nice as a little thank you.
I'll hand Ludo the dagger again. I'm gonna want it back.
Really? All right.
But in case you need to, defend yourself.
maybe keep stabbing the imp too while we're gone.
Hey,
Sure.
You need any potions? For your murder teleport?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to some, barky skin.
We're not calling it a murder teleport. That's the last
Oh,
time.
it's a justice teleport.
That's
yeah,
right.
that's
It's
right.
a justice teleport.
Yeah, Inquisition. Hooray.
Murder.
Righteous teleport is what it is.
There you go.
A murder port.
I will kick you.
I'm a halfling. I've had worse happen to me.
Tele-cide, perhaps?
Tele-cide.
We have some time while we're casting this scry.
Ludo,
Would you like to do a harrow?
Ludo has a 10th level barkskin that he can give you.
I'll take that.
In extract form.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Much obliged, my friend.
Give one to the paladin too. He looks like he needs it.
Oh, okay. I guess I can share.
Professor, if it's especially bad, you might want to put on your family robes and wield that evil-looking staff.
Yes, a reasonable idea. Where is
Has
that
some
mandible thing?
Mark, you got a
Mighty powerful
10th
magic.
level barkskin extract from Ludo. Apparently he is a alchemist.
Yeah,
Okay,
I will.
I will take that. That's awesome.
I'll take the.
It's a +4, I believe.
Yeah, it let you cast a caster level 12 Circle of Death 3 times, which would be good for...
Refresh my memory. How does that spell work again?
You look at a location some distance away, and it creates a circle, and the most powerful things in there die first up to some level of power.
Seems useful.
Does anyone else need a bull strength? He's basically.
I won't
Very good.
say no.
Okay, he gives you a bull strength.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised you need one.
I don't have an enhancement bonus to my strength.
He casts communal protection from evil. Get close, people. 'Cause...
We do need to scry still. Don't cast anything that will wear off quickly.
We're about an hour away from the teleport.
Okay, so we'll wait on that then.
Where is that staff we were talking about?
The Staff of Necromancy, it should be on the loot and treasure page.
Here we go. Staff of Necromancy, fiddling in. Where is that?
The spells we're putting up are just going to be like the minutes before. Like,
Staff of Necromancy. There we are. All right. Yes, that should be helpful. Okay. All right. How do I look in my Chalmers family ceremonial necromancer robes with my staff of necromancy?
you look
Somehow
very,
fitting.
you look very smiteable.
Yes, well, a bit of a chip off the old block after grandfather himself, eh? If he could only see me now.
Yeah,
he
he's
would
sticking
no
his
doubt-
fingers in his ears, going la 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 la.
How do you want that Chalmers shield back? You know, complete the ensemble.
Oh, I don't know. It takes up a hand slot, does it not?
Not while it's animated.
Yeah. Was there a
Shields
reason?
shields take up their own slots.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Was there a reason why I wasn't using that thing?
Just because you have to spend an action to animate it, let it float around you.
Otherwise, is it in my hand?
You might have a shield spell or something like that.
Yeah, I definitely have a shield spell. Does it do anything else? I can't remember.
It has light fortification, so 25% chance if you get crit that it's negated. It has an entropic shield as a constant ability. There's no arcane spell failure chance or anything like that. And it's animated, so it can float around you and defend you.
If it's in the shield slot, is that using up one of my free hands until I animate it? Or is it like...
Well, I mean, you could carry it and just not draw the shield. But it would be like a move action to draw, and then a move action to activate.
Yeah, if you're carrying the shield, like it's providing a bonus, it's considered one of your hands is being used.
Right.
Yes,
But if you're not equipping it, like if you have it stored on your back or something like that,
you're okay then.
it doesn't.
Yeah, Marty, could I put it in my shield slot and just note that it's like, for the most part, unequipped? I will spend an action to equip it and then spend an action to activate it if I want to use it, just so I have it.
Yeah, you could carry it on your back. That's fine.
Okay.
You can take it off my character sheet. It's under the stowed section. I don't think I've ever used it.
Thank you.
So you're all decked out in your family's accoutrements.
Yeah. Buttress jewel. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, I'm grabbing it. All right. Oh. Shall we begin the scrying? Are we ready? Is it fair to say perhaps a harrow reading before we start in on this?
Yes. Yes, let's give it a try. All right, we're all gathered here together. Tech, come on over.
Yes, my queen.
Let's reacquaint you with Zalara, the one who brought us together in the first place.
Yes, my queen.
All right. I'll take out the hero deck, set it down on the table, and say,
There is a light that emanates from the deck itself, and the cards begin to almost like shuffle.
we're gathered here together to seek your blessing, I guess, before we go and and destroy a powerful servant of the Queen, and keep ourselves safe to fight another day.
We've got a sheet for the Harrow, right?
I think we do. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say maybe.
Solara's Harrow
here
deck.
in- Yeah. Gear and treasure.
Yeah.
Okay. The cards seem to be ready to pull.
All right.
Who is
Yeah.
who is stepping up to the plate?
I think Farisay's doing it, but the professor is definitely going to lurk a little bit over her shoulder. He's trying to get back on Zalara's good side. He doesn't want to be too forward because she's an angry woman.
How about our vanguard first? The vanguard, I suppose, is at the back, but the ones that we're sending in first. Thurgus.
Yes, our avant-garde.
I'll
Fergus? Darian?
lip a card up in front of Thurgus.
Okay. First thing, any of the previous boons that were unspent from the last Harrow deck reading those boons have been absorbed back by the deck itself. You still have your insight bonuses to your ability scores though.
Thank God. I need that +2 in.
Those are excellent.
It has been some time. You do feel Zalara's presence. For some of you, this presence is a bit more familiar than others. Professor, it does not feel like she's completely forgiven you. There is this brusque, cold shoulder kind of feeling that you're
Not outright rage?
not
though?
not outright rage, but a brusque, cold shoulder feeling that you are not unfamiliar with.
That's like love in my household.
Correct, because
that is like
because of your
Parenting style. I
my
started doing that.
grandparents.
parenting
Yeah, I mean,
and you
that's-
know, husbandry
Yeah.
or like role as a husband.
Has
That's like-
Thurgus interacted with Zalara since we crushed all those soul wells and we're looking for her kid in the vats?
Don't
I think maybe not.
think so. Aside from you
I
felt
remember she was there and very sad looking in there trying to see if they were there.
you felt
Yeah.
you felt her presence when you seized your childhood blanket.
Okay.
Almost like perhaps she played a hand in making the blanket's magic awaken.
Got it. Okay.
It was part of the boon she promised you for service as well.
Got it.
But interact with her? No, not since.
And I feel her, and I'm sitting down in front of Pharisee first and I feel her presence.
You feel her presence, and then there's this deck that is glowing. The cards are shuffling, and 8 cards in a box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, eight cards in a box kind of flip over, and there are images that aren't quite clear, and then the card in the center is something that you are supposed to draw.
Zalara, I just want to say, you don't need to give me anything. You gave me the greatest gift I could have asked for. And he pats himself on the cloak. And then
You see some images change as you're saying that, but the urge to pull the card is still there. It's almost like there's a little tug.
all right. And then he'll draw the card slowly and flip it over.
A D9 and a D6.
A 4 and a 2.
Okay. And then a D2.
2.
All right. So a 4 and a 6.
Oh, sorry, a 4 and a 2.
A 4 and a
4,
2.
2, 2.
Okay. All right. You draw a card that is of the key suit.
Oh yeah, you know how I love my doors.
So swords? It's the sword suit?
It is the card of the locksmith.
Yeah, that's right.
It is the lawful neutral card of dexterity.
I mean, technically, I'm neutral.
You're chaotic neutral, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about this card that makes you feel ill at ease. 2 means that it's upside down. Normally, this represents the key that you need to unlock your fate. That the card would grant you tools need to unlock some new place, puzzle, or horde. But it seems that it's upside down, that it's not just your fate, but your fate somehow is intertwined with everyone else's.
As always, Elar, you're very wise and have given me much to ponder.
Okay, the card begins to glow. It rises up in front of you. And Zalara is, for what it's worth, is granting you a +2 insight bonus. Or, sorry, yeah, it's inherent or insight? Inherent bonus to dexterity.
I feel like my old, smaller self again.
Does that replace the previous inherent bonus?
No. It also, will guide you or be helpful should anyone try to imprison you or keep you from your fate. And I would mark that down as if ever you feel stuck or you're being imprisoned or you're not on your path, that this boon will help you. The wave
nod
and
reverently and walk away.
The wave and wash of the cards as you rise from the table. You feel, for some reason, Zalara wants you to be quick, and the cards begin to shuffle again. First, the outer cards return to the pack, and then the central card goes back into the pack. Everything glows, and it begins to be. It returns to almost just like a constant shuffling until someone else sits down.
Darian?
Darian will sit.
Darian is a newcomer to the group, but apparently he has intertwined his fates with others, and the cards begin to be dealt for Darian.
Excellent.
Mark, give me a D9 and a D6 and a D2.
So 5 on the D9, and then 1's.
Okay. You draw the card of the bear.
Cool.
I think I got Thurgis's.
Thurgus like looks over. Oh man.
It is of the hammer. It is the neutral card of strength.
This really looks like Thurgis's, I have to say.
It represents pure strength that cannot truly be tamed or trained.
Is anybody else seeing this?
It is
Thurgus just like looks over.
It is floating at the center of a bunch of other cards that kind of remind you of a phalanx. you're a bit concerned, Darian, as you kind of understood, like, Thurgis's fate is entwined with the fate of others. Your job might even be more important, and that would be to keep Thurgis alive.
We will not send one bear, but two.
The blood bear is with you, Darren.
Take notes, cub.
Keep in mind, this is not a lawful good deity that is working through this. This is some mysterious ghost of a
lady,
fortune
yes.
teller.
Woman
But
here.
she seems to be pulling strings of fate in a certain way. Do
She worked
do
in a
you
room.
have an inherent bonus?
He does. He's got one. He's got a bonus to strength.
Okay. Given that you drew a strength card, you can increase that inherent bonus from +2 to +3.
Cool.
The boon of this card is that for one combat, let me see what his is.
I cast magic as a free action. Just...
In one combat, you or Thurgis, your choice, or a combination of the two, will gain a total of a +10 enhancement bonus to your strength.
Okay. We'll keep that one loaded up. 'cause
Punch
that's
through
fun.
a guy into another guy.
It is not a very subtle card. It's basically saying Thurgis has a purpose, and you
It's
think
great
that your
things.
your purpose is to fight alongside him.
Okay.
And take notes.
Take notes, my
I'm not sure that's implied.
I'm pretty sure he's got a little cub, right? I'm the big bear. He's a little cub. Yeah, yeah.
That's
You gotta follow around and take notes.
There is
But that's what
there
it
is
says, right?
depth to this. There cannot be a coincidence that the Ursine are the newest of the inherited races. No one's really sure where they came from. There may be more about Thurgis than Thurgis's personality and his temperament gives off. Like, Thurgis himself might be the mystery, or might be the reason, as opposed to Thurgis's actions. You caught glimpse of some of the phalanx of cards around it that reminded you of, like, a military unit, but this is more like, no. This bear stands out. He is a military unit.
Okie doke.
I'm assuming you guys are taking notes, because I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
doing random harrow readings.
I think Max, you got yours down, right?
Yeah.
And Mark, I think you got.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
got
have a
my-
problem remembering the key. He used to call it his keyblade, literally.
Nice.
Zephyros next?
The cards begin to glow. They begin to reset. Tech doesn't feel a particular pull from these cards. No does Bukrubek this time around. Mokranum doesn't feel a pull. But there is a pull for Zephyros, Henry, and Pharisee to sit down.
Zephyros, you're next into the fray. Let's take a look at your boons.
He seems a little nervous. He cracks his fingers and sits down.
Oh, you could do it, Zephyros.
Zephyros waits for the cards to present themselves in a box, and then he picks from the deck a single card and flips it over in the center. All of it's glowing, and then an image begins to appear. Matt, can you roll for
322.
Bring it back.
I'm gonna take some notes here.
322? Well, 2 is the key suit again, dexterity. It is the It is the chaotic good card of dexterity, representing destiny, deities, and those who play with the fates of others.
Ooh.
It's upside down, suggesting that someone is going to play with the fate of Zephyros. Or that perhaps someone already has. Pharisee apparently wants the big guys to be dexterous, as Zephyros now has a +2 inherent bonus to his dexterity.
Maybe he'll pass a sneak check one of these days.
His boon is that with this card, or with this draw, let me check there isn't something specific, that he can avoid one calamity.
One, like, oh shit.
Yep.
Is that the juggler inverted?
That is the inverted juggler.
Got it.
What that calamity is, Zalera does not know, but it does leave Zephyros with an uneasy feeling. A similar uneasy feeling that Thurgus had, that Zalara might be trying to tug on the strings of fate a little bit to alter their outcome. Zephyros just bows, like gives a nod to the cards and seems to be in thought and stands off to the side.
Henry?
I suppose my turn now. Yes, Zalara, I know we've had our differences in the past. And you know I don't say this often, but I'm sorry, girl. You know how my mind is a bit distracted. You don't have to forgive me, but please, I need the tools to continue on. I've almost figured it out. I know we're close. Please look gently on an old man, if you would.
Okay.
1d9, 1d6.
Give him some charisma. Give him some charisma.
More dex.
Yeah, more dex.
And inverted.
622. Was that
622? So it's also the key. Apparently, she thinks most of you need to be quick here in Bosterra. Quick and strong. The card is an inverted rabbit prince. It is the chaotic neutral card of dexterity. Normally, when upright, it represents the vicissitudes of melee combat. The rabbit prince is the personification of capriciousness in battle. His broken sword indicates that defeat may come to anyone. The card represents more risky, younger people of great families. The card is kind of telling you that, or reminding you, that you are not built for melee combat.
Oh, I thought I was trying to tell him to use those touch spells.
Well, it could be. It could be like from a distance. From a distance.
Ranged touch.
And that your fate would surely be sealed should you decide to get into melee. You do get a +2 inherent bonus to dexterity, as Zalara wants the professor to be quick. This card will allow you to mirror dodge a single attack.
That's
in
awesome.
melee.
What is mirror dodge?
It's awesome.
As an immediate action, you can choose to have the attack hit a mirror image of you as opposed to you.
Do I get to choose that like after I know it's gonna hit?
Yep.
Okay, so I basically get one free, like, you're about to get hit with a sword, you don't get hit with the sword now.
You might want to save it for you. It's a critical hit with like a ballista.
Any hit to the professor is a critical hit with a ballista.
Oh, God.
Zalara does whisper to you, remember your promise.
I will, girl. I will. I haven't forgotten. We will find him. We're closer. Oh.
And then you're given this bombardment of all sorts of times when you were close to enemies where swords or axes or clubs, punches and teeth and claw, of all the things that you fought, like actually hitting you instead. And you were left wondering how many times has Zalara actually saved your bacon.
Oh, yes, I have felt you. I will do better now.
I assume all of this means something to all of you, says Big Rebecca.
It does. And last me.
The cards flutter as they glow and return to the deck and begin to shuffle. The cards that have already been pulled are being reshuffled back into the deck. It is possible to get the same card.
Let's find out. 1, 2, 2.
It is the strength suit of the hammer.
No, it's the D9 was the one.
Sorry. So the D9 is the one.
It's another dex.
It is dex, correct. 1, it is the dance, and it is upside down. The dance is the lawful good card of dexterity.
Ooh.
It represents a complicated framework that requires the cooperation of all to avoid collapse. Pharisee, Queen, Witch, and Bard, you are the de facto leader of this group, unfortunately. At least Zalara sees you as such, and at least this card shows it. It suggests that you are dancing a fine line by inviting a paladin into your group. It suggests that it's not going to go as expected, and that the more that you go into this dance, the more complex it will become. Pharisee is granted a +2 inherent bonus to dexterity. I think she already had int, correct?
Yeah.
There is a saving grace here. Not once, but thrice. Pharisee, you will be granted the ability to use versatile performance on any performance check that you want against any skill check you want. In order to help compete and manage the increasing complexity of the situations that you're in and will continue to find yourselves in.
Excellent. All right.
I assume you have
It's
some
going
pretty
to be
high
complicated,
performs.
everyone.
I assume you have some pretty high performs, right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, my perform wind is plus 22.
Which is a good substitute for almost every skill you have. So
Yeah, perform dance is plus 16. Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Zalara, in a way, is relying on you to keep this hodgepodge, this Jerks Emeritus, this reluctant heroic band together.
We can do it. Yes, we can. We can do it.
To not only succeed in your quest, but her quest, but also in against these horrible forces that have taken interest in all of you. The music will not stop until the queen and her power and the power behind the queen are gone.
All right, all right.
The deck then collects its cards. The cards kind of fuse together, like she doesn't want to do this no more, or maybe the magic for now has been spent, and it just simply sits in a lump in the center of the table.
I'll put it away.
That could have gone much worse. Yes, well, time to start scrying, I think.
I think the time has come.
I'll walk up to Thurgus and, I guess, pull some hairs off of him.
Hey, what was that for?
You'll figure it out.
Just makes it easier to find you, buddy.
Yes, I'm trying to concentrate. And if anyone is doling out magic as we get closer, an old man could always use a little bit before he teleports into combat.
Yes. I'll stay here with the others, but that does not mean I cannot give you some spells beforehand.
Yes, well, do whatever you see fit. Now, Pharisee, may I borrow the scrying device?
Bukerbeck's going to cast a magic circle against evil on Thurgus. Right around the time.
Does that go with me? How does that work?
Yeah, sure.
It's a 10-foot radius around you, I believe. You can cast it on.
Of course you may, Professor.
Yes, thank you.
Thurgus, you'll get. That's when you'll get the bull strength from Dorian as well. When we get near the end of that spell.
Do you
and a death ward as well.
Do you need a bull strength, Darian?
Darian's got his own bull strength.
Okay. What about weapons of awe? Do you guys want one of those?
What do they do again? +2 to damage.
+2 sacred to damage, and I think critical hits they need to make saves versus fear. Some sort of shaken effect. Okay,
I'll
yeah.
take one, yeah, sure.
Thurgus and Darian both get a weapon of awe from Bukerbeck.
Thank you, good sir.
Do not thank me. Thank Bumpa Dubba Dumba.
Oh, that's right. Thank Bubba.
No one ever pronounces his god's name right. Zephyros might, because he's the same god, but I definitely mispronounce
The
his
last
god.
thing will be a communal resist energy against, I don't know, pick one. Fire?
Fire.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
There'll be a communal protection from evil from Darian for the group. Because it sucks when your mind's taken over.
Yeah, I guess the communal protection from fire can go on multiple targets, so it will go on basically everyone. Zephyros, Pharisee, Professor included.
I'll
Yeah,
provide a
Did you get
good
your death
hope and a
ward,
moment of
Thurgus?
greatness.
Max,
Sorry, what was that?
Did you get your death ward?
Oh, did not. That sounds awesome.
I guess before I start scrying, I could put a couple resist energies on myself, right?
Who's doing the scry?
I'm gonna do it, but I could do resist energy real quick. It'll last 100 or 110 minutes.
Okay.
It takes an hour to do the scry.
Yep.
I could get this off before I do it.
Yep.
We have a resist communal fire already going. I will put resist lightning.
Do we have one of those air bubble things?
No, I think I cast that for our fight to retrieve tech.
I've got an actual air bubble for you if you want. It's not as good as the last thing we got, though.
Do we got one of those neutralized poisony things?
Yeah, I can give you one of those. I'll have to do one of those. I should probably take one too.
I'm going to give myself freedom of movement.
Same.
Yeah, same here.
My death word isn't shown as cast. Did I cast that before we went to get tech?
Don't know.
I feel like I probably did. We really put everything into that. I'm going to assume that's cast.
Did the protection from fire, protection from evil, did that extend to the crawling claw? Do you have enough?
Yes, it'll extend it to crawling or fucking evil under. Through gritted teeth is extended to.
Yeah, the protection from fire could have gone to the crawling claw as well. Makarnom's not going to go. Bukarabek's not going to go. It's just basically this group's going to teleport in. The wizards plus tech.
Do I have any 10s? Oh, I'll throw the telepathic bond. Let me see how many people I can put it on.
Nice.
That's 10. One willing creature for 3 levels. That's me plus 3. Until we're at 12. So I can do Thurgus, Pharisee, Darian. Oh wait, so Thurgus. I can't get everybody. I can't get all the PCs. Definitely Thurgus because he's in the advanced party. Pharisee because Professor and Pharisee play off each other a lot. Probably Zephyros too. Darian, you're not in the telepathic one.
Okay.
We don't want the paladin knowing.
Knowing what you're thinking? No, probably a wise decision.
Funny. Hey, you asked for this, Mark.
Yeah, I know. And moments before Darian turns himself into his sword, he will cast one last spell on the professor. He just looks at you and goes, "Why, fuck, you're old." Taps you, and you get a deathless spell.
Nice. At this point, I'm concentrating on the scrying and just kind of shiver a little bit.
So, you cannot be killed by hit point damage for 11 rounds.
Who's that on?
That's on the professor, because he old and fragile.
Do you have freedom of movement, Thurgus?
Yep.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Darian will turn himself into a sword.
Okay. There's a sword lying beside you, Thurgus. It is not of the right size for your current size.
Who's teleporting us?
Tech looks to Pharisee. Zephyros is going to teleport. Tech looks to Pharisee like the paladin just turned into a blade.
Yes.
Yeah, alright, wish us luck. Hopefully we don't die. And then I will look between Pharisee and the professor as like, when are they going to give me the go signal? Because I have no idea how long it takes to cast scrying.